Yep. 30th of November, I went to auction. I bought them 5 tractors and boring bar and a bunch of stuff. And this is the H I bought for $100. And y'all seen me started up on a Zoom bottle and then started up with a cracked manifold and it didn't run right. And this, that, and the other. And I was pretty sure this old motor would be all right, this engine. It never was stuck, and I pulled the spark plugs out of it. It looked good in the bores. I run a compression test. After I changed the manifold, I put a different manifold on it. It still wasn't running smooth and the compression wasn't just right. Well, I pulled the valve cover off and adjusted the valves, is what I've done to it. And now I want you to listen to this little thing.
Do I need to run?
Not yet. That really runs good.
Yes, sir.
What I've been doing, you're going to step back a minute. I ain't got a radiator on it yet. So I just filled the lock up with water. It's hitting that full in. Okay. Move back over there just a second.
Hey, Rusty, is he gonna blow it up? I think he's gonna blow it up, ain't he? There he goes. Okay. Am I supposed to be impressed?
I'm hoping all that smoke will clear up and run it a while. I don't know. It's hard to say if that smoke will clear up or not. But the engine seems to be pretty solid. It holds good oil pressure. It don't rattle or knock, but that carburetor ain't just right. I cleaned it out and the gasket was bad and I just put it together without a gasket on top. And there's a venturi up there on top and it's not sealing just right. It's not taking gas like it should. It idles pretty fine, but I do. Okay. I brought them vehicles and that old Pontiac over there.
You gotta keep bragging on them?
And I keep that little bee and all of them. And when I brought them in, I pulled the plugs out and I put a mixture of diesel fuel and transmission fluid, 50-50, in all the cylinders, even with the ones that wasn't locked up like this. And the ones that locked up, I did too. And I've learned over years you can free them old motors up and get them running. But half time they turn out they ain't no good, even after you freed them up, it's been stuck. And I'm going to show you why.
Okay, show me
right
why.
Here.
Do, 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 do. Look at him, he's got spurs on. You must think he's a cowboy. Do, 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 do. Hey, Rusty, you look like you're having fun. Okay, Cowpoke, what are we looking at?
If y'all remember, I bought a YouTube power unit, and I said I wanted to start her off of it, and I didn't think it was any good because of the manifold being cracked. Well, I put it to soaking first thing. I filled all them cylinders up, you know. And I went up there the other day and messed around with it. It was locked up. It wasn't going to turn over. And I thought, well, I'll take the cylinder head off. I took the cylinder head off of it. And all that fluid I'd put on top of all them pistons, it done went past the pistons and down the oil pan. The sleeves and pistons looked pretty good. It was locked up. So I brought it up here and attempted to pull this front pulley off. And I had the heat on that thing and put my big puller on it and a cheater pipe. It just pressed on. I got it off finally. And when I bought this power unit, it was sitting just like this. No radiator on it. It was standing up. And what I think happened, I think it rained on it over the years and water went around that seal right there.
Oh.
And when it went around that seal,
yeah,
it rusted them gears up.
Wow.
And after I
soaked them,
got the governor out, and that governor, them flyweights is stuck. See how rusty that old governor is? Part of the gears is rusty and part of them ain't. But after that, I could get a little wiggle out of it. So I took a little screwdriver and I went down the grooves, all them gears, and sprayed some PB blaster on it and stuff. Engine freed right up.
Wow.
Engine freed right up. But under the valve cover, it was real rusty. You know, it didn't have. I pulled the head off. Right here's the cylinder head, and that busted place. I assumed the water got in there and froze and busted that.
Yeah.
But if you look at that, that's not cracked all the way through.
Yeah.
I think what happened is somebody hit it with dropped the power unit off of a chain or hit it with something and cracked that.
Oh.
The cast iron cracks pretty easy. Now the dogs won't eat me. But under the valve cover, it was real rusty. But if you look at here, every one of them valves is free.
Oh, wow.
They ain't stuck.
Well,
They don't look too bad.
Rusty, you're going to have to leave him alone.
For some reason, this one right here had a rag in it.
Oh, wow.
It's still in there. You can see there's a little piece of rag stuck in the intake valve. He must have had a rag up under there and put a carburetor on, fired it up, and sucked that rag up inside of it.
Sounds about like something you do.
It's a big rag, shop towel. And I think that's what had it locked up when he give up on it.
Oh.
Okay, I had it soaking for close to 90 days. And I could have got it running, except
yeah.
it wouldn't have been successful. See them piston rings? They're stuck in the grooves. See out in there moves a little bit on this end, but it don't move there. Even the oil ring. Part of the oil ring will move and part of it won't. That's probably number one. But every piston's got at least one or two or three stuck, all three of them stuck on this one. Then, number 3 piston, looky here. It's had some kind of damage done to it. See?
Yes.
And it's got some rust in there. But that was the worst one. But see, well, around that piston pin, I don't know how long it's been that way, but and the rings are stuck. So it wouldn't have been a successful motor if I started it up. So what I'm gonna do, this is a power unit engine.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a dipstick rather than the petcocks on the oil pan.
Right.
And in there in the building there, I've got a brand new kit. New sleeves and pistons.
Uh-huh.
Super C size. This engine here just got a 3-inch bore, and them pistons I got 3 1/4, but they'll fit this block. So I'm gonna take this block and tear it all the way down, clean it up, put all them new parts in it. And I never thought I'd worry about fixing it, but I've got a 200 farmall. And I think I'll just put this motor in that 200 and put that 200 together.
Do you have other tractors that run?
Well, but I was going to sell it. The 200 will sell better than the C.
Oh.
But these sleeves and pistons here,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pull these sleeves out,
Uh-huh.
put new rings on them, and put them in that C that's over there. That we pulled the
I
sleeves up.
see, Tennessee tuxedo.
But that was my plan.
But you're
But see the
a
rust on there? If
giant
you'd freed that
weirdo.
up, that rust right there would have got down into the oil pan.
Uh-huh.
And the bearings look real good in this engine. The crankshaft and the bearings and stuff. The crank is really pretty. You can't even catch a fingernail on nothing on that crank. But see, that'll turn some. I don't want to really force it.
Well, don't force it.
But see, that old crank's pretty good.
Wow.
I mean, I wouldn't be scared.
Holy camoly.
I wouldn't be scared. And I've got a used piston. I've got more of them little 3-inch pistons. I've got a good supply of them. And I think I got a set of rings in
What's Puppy chewing on?
my flashlight. He carried that off the other day. He grabbed it and run off with it.
Well, now you got it back,
He
so
brought it back.
thank you, Puppy. Thank you, Rusty, for bringing it back.
He carries everything off, folks. He'll carry off your shoes.
Uh-huh.
If he's right there and you take your shoe off for some reason, you go reach down to get it again, he's done, run off with it.
Oh, yeah,
It wrenches, I let it wrench or screwdriver down, I turn around and look and it's gone. And one other thing I wanted to talk about,
Yes.
that power unit had this alternator on it,
Uh-huh.
and that's internal regulator alternator.
Uh-huh.
And what I do, I don't know what it really was.
Ouch.
I don't know how they had that rigged up, but they've got some kind of little switch there. I guess that switch will turn the alternator on and off.
Okay.
And what I do, I take this wire right here, this wire.
Uh-huh.
That's the one that energizes your alternator.
Where's
What
your,
I take and
where's
do with
your
this-
switch at?
What?
Where's your switch at?
I don't know. What I do is I take this wire right here,
Uh-huh.
and I'll either wire it up and put a bulb in there, just a little dash light
Uh-huh.
with 2 wires coming out, and hook it to the battery.
Okay.
And when you start it up,
Mm-hmm.
that light will be on.
Mm-hmm.
It's sitting there idling. As soon as you rev the tractor up, that light will go off. You turn the key off, that light come. You turn the key off, you turn the key, and kill the engine, turn the key back on, that light will be on again. And what that keeps it doing, it keeps it from discharging your battery. It's real simple, just put a light in there.
Uh-huh.
But what I like to do a lot of time is get a little switch that works on your oil pressure. Got 2 prong sticks on it. When you start your engine up, you have oil pressure. They call them Murphy switches. They use them on them old power units and stuff. If the oil pressure goes down, they run it through the ignition. The oil pressure goes down, it shuts itself off.
Ah.
But anyway, I get them little, it's a 5-pound pressure switch. You can get it in Napa. What it is, a 5-pound oil pressure switch, got 2 terminals on it. And I like to hook them in there and use that rather than a bulb. Because if that bulb burns out, then you don't know, that it's not charging. But the bulb works all right too. But I'm gonna take that alternator and put it on that H or that C or one of these other tractors. And I think I get $40 for that power unit. And I've got a amp meter that's too small. And the old pressure gauge, it might not work, but I got a push button starter and I got that on off switch.
Oh boy.
And a good throttle.
Oh boy.
Well, I got a few parts that I can use off of that. But the starter was worth it to me. I needed that starter real bad. But I'm kind of satisfied with that H. I need to get a radiator in it and take it out here and hook it to something and drag it around, put a load behind it and fix that carburetor better. And I think it'll be all right. That's probably the one I'm going to bush hog with. And the only new parts I put in it so far is 4 new spark plugs. I put 4 new spark plugs in it, and that's it. But anyway, my daddy, he had H's. He had several of them. And one day, I was going by this junkyard up at Maynard, Arkansas. And this old boy had H sitting out front. Engine took apart. Just pulled it around there not that many days ago, because I'd go by there all the time. I was a kid. And I went in and looked at it, and the back tires was pretty good on it. My daddy was needing some back tires. So I went in and asked him, what's the story on that H out there? Well, I'll sell that to you real cheap. I'll sell it to you so cheap you think you stole it. He said, I'll take $150 for that tractor. And he said, I've got the new parts to put it back together. He said, I got new gaskets, new rod bearings, and new piston rings, and a cylinder head with a new valve job. So I told my daddy about it. And my daddy went up there. Me and him went up there and he bought it. And that old guy changed his tune. He wouldn't give us the cylinder head or the rings or the bearings or the gaskets.
Uh-oh.
So, but Dad wanted it. He took it anyway at that $150 because he wanted them back tires and stuff off of it, Engine all tore down. Well, it sat out there at Dad's and we had it covered up. And you know how things are. It didn't get covered up and that engine got rained in, the sleeves rusted and the crank rusted and all that. Several more years went by and that old guy that run that junkyard, he got old and he was in his old 1-ton wrecker and he pulled out onto the highway in front of his junkyard in front of a semi-truck, and that's the last thing the old man ever did. So I had an auction sale up there, and they had all kinds of engine parts and stuff up on the shelf on the wall, whole wall full. All different kinds of new parts and gaskets and all that stuff. And I seen that that farmall cylinder head and them gaskets was there. And I bought that whole wall of parts, whole shelf, everything on the wall for like $50. And I got home, we used them rings and that cylinder head on a different H that he had that was burning oil. And in that stash of parts, I got a set of rings and gaskets for Pontiac 287s like in that 55 over there. So what I'm going to do with that thing is I'm going to take that motor apart even if it does free up. Big Block 402, he commented that he thought that a combination of transmission fluid and acetone would break it free. But I'd just soon tear it down. I got them new rings and stuff, but it's one of them projects I'm going to put on hold for a while because I got enough stuff taken apart already. And Debbie's about ready to take me apart if I don't get some more of this mess cleaned up, which I have moved quite a bit of it. I have.
Show me where.
Yeah.
Show me where.
What? Right there. There was probably 25 tires piled up right there.
25.
I've got a whole pickup load of junk.
25 tires.
I got a whole pickup load of junk on the back of my truck back there I got to unload. Now, yesterday was the day you didn't want to do nothing. That wind was blowing. It was cold. It was about 40 degrees, but it felt like it was 20. And I didn't want to do anything, and Debbie didn't either, so we didn't even bother to make a video because we figured it'd have too much wind noise in it, so she made her video about her poor elm tree today. And I guess that's about it, unless Debbie's got something to say. Goodbye and good luck to you.
Yeah.
Y'all have a good one, and we're glad the spring's here. And we're kind of upset about losing that elm tree, but you can see.
Yeah, poor Elming.
That was a big tree.
Yes.
I told Debbie I wondered if back over the years ago, somebody told me where this house was, there used to be a tavern. 2-story tavern, chimney on each end, dog trot through the middle. And they said out under that tree they had tables. And there's a big spring right there where the highway is now. They covered it up, filled it up with riprap. And they said people would come down here and they'd sit under them trees on them tables on hot summer days, and they'd bring them cold beverages out to them and cook food and stuff all the time. And I told her, I said, I wonder how many trials they had and how many people they hung from the limbs of them trees. Probably nobody, but you never know. That old tree could probably tell a lot of stories.
Never know.
You never know. Back in them days, people just kind of had a problem. They just took care of it, and that was it, you know.
Mm-hmm. Eliminate the problem.
Anyway,
I guess I'm going to eliminate Randall, so the next time you see him, he'll be half the man he was.
She's griping about me and my boots.
Yeah, no, I'm not griping.
I've had these boots, believe it or not, 25 years.
I know. 5 years.
25.
Well, that's 5.
10, 25. I can count.
Okay, but you only held up 5
And how
fingers.
I got them. This old boy come by, there's an expensive pair of boots. And he said, you want these boots? And I said, well, what do you want from them? I just want to give them to you. He said, I got them as a gift, and he said, they're too small for me, and they hurt my feet anyway. And he said, you're always riding horses, you need them boots. And he give them to me. And, they're good boots. And the way I make them last is I put a shoe glue, a sole onto the bottom of them. If I can get over here and hold something. See the bottom of my boot?
Yep. See the bottom of your boot.
I shoe glue a sole onto the bottom of them, and I don't wear them all that much. But anyway.
No, because it makes him taller than me.
Use them spurs on that dog.
Don't hurt my doggy woggy.
Anyway, I'm glad to have my little girl here on a sunshiny day, and everything's all good. And
I know, I've been watching grandbabies.
yeah, but anyway, everything's all good, and it ain't too bad a day. And they said there's gonna be some wind today, and I don't see any wind.
There's a little bit of wind.
Anyway, so me and Debbie, it's gonna be a laundry day. We're doing laundry.
Okay, anyway. Y'all have a great day, and be sure and like and subscribe and comment below.
Yep.
And Randy likes reading your comments. And share. Share with people you like, people you don't like. You know, just everybody. Just share. And y'all have
doing her spiel.
And you.
Hey, I'm going to auction Saturday.
No, you're not. You're going to have
I am.
2 broken legs.
Well, I'm still going. It's a local agri-auction. I didn't go last year because they had a outfit that was auctioneers that said that no junk, and there was going to be a $30 minimum fee and this, that, and there was blah, blah, you know, going on. And I said, well, that's what I'm after, is the junk. And, you know, I don't like...
Look, I have an auction right here. How much you give me for that junk right there, sir?
Well, that's a pile of copper.
Okay, how much?
$10.
Okay, give me $10 and then get it out of here.
Anyway, so I didn't even bother going to the sale. I said, I ain't even going to go this year. And I didn't go. And that's first, that sale's been going on for...
What do you think you're doing?
It's been going on for 37 years.
Uh-huh.
This will be the 37th year of it. And I had went to 36 of them. But I didn't. I mean, 35 of them. I didn't go last year. But mainly, all I'm going for this year is to see all the old guys I know. They're still alive and say, well, it looks like we made the winter again.
God. Anyway, y'all have a great day. And Randy may or may not make it to that auction. It depends on what kind of feisty mood I'm in.
Well, you're fixing to leave and go watch
Yeah,
kids.
but
You'll be watching kids Saturday.
But I can still tie you up to a chair before I leave.
Yeah.
And I don't think your dog will chew you loose.
He's chewing your feet.
I know he's chewing me up, but...
He likes Debbie. She tastes good.
Oh, God. Anyway, y'all have a great day. Be sure and like and subscribe. Bye.